Well, it looks like President Trump is about to walk in the footsteps of Leonardo DiCaprio, Bill Gates, and Bill Clinton, among many others. President Trump, in fact, planning to join that annual World Economic Forum. You know that the gathering of the world's wealthiest, most powerful globalists, movie stars, dignitary. But the question is, why? Is President Trump really planning to crash the party or join it? With me now, my panel, Katrina Pearson, former Trump campaign national spokeswoman, current spokesperson for America First Action Policies, Kristin Tate, conservative author of and a contributor to The Hill, and Fox News contributor DeRoy Murdoch, also a contributor to the National Review. Katrina, let me start with you. Why is Trump going to go rub elbows with these globalists? Is he going to go over there and explain, you know, the travails of the coal miner in West Virginia, or what's going on over there?
Well, look, Charles, this is the mothership of globalism, just as you have laid out. These are people who don't believe in individual countries. They don't believe in borders in a global economy. So who better than to go to this group and really resurrect national sovereignty other than President Trump? And I believe that's exactly what he's going to do. And you know what? He's a businessman. He's a salesman. And he's going to say, guess what? Look at what we just did in the United States with our tax system. Your businessmen here and entrepreneurs, we're open for business in a free and fair market way.
You know, Kristin Tate, a lot of those folks over there have a lot of money. They fly private jets, and well, I guess what I'm looking for is that they're hypocrites. So you know, and, you know, listen, they argue to Katrina's point for a one world government, but they do believe it's folks like them that should dictate the rules.
Yeah, there's certainly a hypocritical element to it, Charles, and there's no question about it. The World Economic Forum and its attendees hold views that are the antithesis of Donald Trump's America First agenda. Steve Bannon used to use the term party of Davos to describe globalist elites who have no regard for the working class or national interests. But this is a phenomenal opportunity for Donald Trump to speak directly to the entire globe and explain how his administration's policies have completely reinvigorated the U.S. economy, and he can also explain how his policies don't just benefit America, but other countries as well. We're an economic engine, and when you have a healthy America, you have a healthy global economy. And his message will be heard loud and clear. Donald Trump is the most fascinating and well-known person on this planet, so everyone in the world will be hanging on to his every word, and his message in Davos will be front-page news all over the place.
Right. So, DeRoy, are you optimistic that I mean, we saw when President Trump went to the Middle East. We saw when he went to Europe and he spoke to NATO. We saw it at the United Nations where he didn't back down. He reiterated things that, I mean, as much as it shocked the mainstream media, he reiterated his positions with strength and vigor in front of the world. So maybe he won't be lured by all the fancy, parties in Davos.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this at all. Look, he went to Saudi Arabia. America's not turned into an Islamic theocracy. Ronald Reagan went to Moscow. We did not turn communist. And I don't think if, when he comes back from Davos, that this is suddenly going to become a globalist-oriented, multinational-oriented type country.
Will the globalists listen to President Trump?
I think they will. In fact, one of the organizers said he was very happy that President Trump is coming, and said that the participants will get, quote, a direct perspective on U.S. political and economic priorities. And they will hear what the general thrust is of the U.S. government, whether they agree with it or not. At least they'll get to hear it. And I think there's a lot of good news with this economy growing and with people going back to work here. I think there's a lot that many of these very status-oriented governments can learn from what we're doing here.
And on that note, Katrina, it's an opportunity, isn't it, for President Trump to sort of throw down the gauntlet once again with his America First policies? Not saying, we're dissing the rest of the world, but it's pretty obvious that we take care of our own first.
Oh, absolutely. And this is the perfect opportunity to do that. As I said, these people don't like borders, and he's going to reassert national sovereignty and still be not just a global player, but a major global player because of what he's going to be doing with renegotiating some of these trade policies, which is going to be extremely important. Several countries have propped themselves up on the backs of hardworking Americans, and he just wants to set it straight.
Kristin, you're confident that can happen? That can he maybe perhaps influence and change even the ideas of some of these folks at Davos?
Maybe. I mean, the main point is that he'll have to, he'll be able to force these globalists to sit there and listen to him, and the entire media all over the world will be forced to cover what he says. It's also a great opportunity for him to tout his administration's many successes. I mean, he has a lot to brag about right now. The Dow reached 25,000. Unemployment is the lowest it's been in decades. The economy is booming. So this is an exciting moment, and Trump supporters shouldn't be worried about this. They should be cheering, because he's going there to promote the policies that he ran on in the America First agenda.
All right. Thank you all very much. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Gunlat unveiling a immigration bill, and it tackles all the key areas, right? Border security, DACA. The congressman himself will join us next.